The book bag had bullets, guns.
Around 5 a.m. on July 9th, 2018, Beckley police got a terrifying 911 call. 3 girls had been kidnapped and 1 had been killed: Amber Meadows, Aralea, and Destiny. Investigators had only a blurry CCTV video to work with as they hurried to identify the armed and dangerous kidnappers. But nothing could have prepared them for the shocking truth behind this brutal crime. Beckley, West Virginia, is a town of about 16,000 people, including 19-year-old Amber Dawn Meadows. Amber didn't have an easy childhood. Her mother was barely around, so other family members had to take care of her. Despite these challenges, Amber excelled. In high school, she was a straight-A student and still found time to be part of the cheerleading squad and play softball. It seemed like Amber had a bright future ahead. Things went well until the summer of 2018 when she got involved with a bad crowd. She started pulling away from her family and old friends. They tried to understand what was happening, but their efforts didn't work. They could only hope Amber would come back to who she used to be. But by then, it was already...
We needed an ambulance at the gravel lodge on Harbor Road. My friend was just shot. She's laying in the floor in room 48. I'm not sure if she's still alive or not. Me and my friend escaped. We've been held hostage.
The call came in around 5 a.m. on July 9th. Just minutes later, 2 officers from the Beckley Police Department in West Virginia arrived at the Travel Lodge Motel. When they entered room 48, they were faced with a horrific scene. The first room was completely trashed. Chairs were broken, doorknobs smashed, and lamps shattered. But what awaited them in the second room was even worse. There, they found the lifeless body of 19-year-old Amber Meadows lying face up. Forensic teams started gathering evidence from the scene. Among the items they collected were beer cans, cigarette butts, and leftover food, all swabbed for possible DNA. They also found something unusual: a divider used for ammunition packaging and a bullet lodged in the doorframe near Amber's body, likely from the gun that killed her. In the motel's nearby parking lot, they discovered a blood-stained white stolen just days earlier. With more questions than answers, the Beckley Police Department turned to the two surviving teens for help. Their information would be crucial to solving this disturbing case.
Well, like I said, we're investigating what happened this morning. And I know it's obviously difficult for you, but to your best, of your ability, can you tell us what happened from the start to up until the finish?
We were sitting at the gas station, and she was trying to get in and out of her phone because none of our phones work. She said she had to use the bathroom, so she walked in, and she was in there for a minute. And we were just sitting in the car waiting on her. And then I just see 2 guys come up at our door. And I guess they were with Laquan.
At 12:34 a.m. on July 9th, while the girls were hanging out, Amber needed to use the bathroom. She drove to a nearby gas station to use the restroom inside the store. Amber was expected to return immediately, so the others waited in the car. While they were parked in the gas station lot, a red SUV pulled up and parked next to Amber's car. 3 black men and 1 white man got out of the SUV. The white man went directly into the store, but the other 3 headed toward Amber's car. One of the black men opened the car door and angrily demanded to know where Amber was. Aralea instantly recognized him as Laquan and was terrified because she knew him to be dangerous.
And I've been telling her for days, not to mess with him because I know his past, I know his history, I know all about my group around him. He's not a good person. He made his friend get in the back seat with me, and he had a gun.
Despite being told Amber was in the restroom, Laquan entered the store to get her. This made the girls realize something was off, but they weren't sure what. Laquan briefly looked around inside the store before entering the women's restroom. Moments later, he came out with Amber. Laquan quickly began pressuring the girls to follow them back to their motel. It felt threatening, though it was framed as an invitation to stay and freshen up for the night. The girls were outnumbered and knew the men were armed, so they didn't feel they had any real choice but to agree. Before everyone got into their cars, Laquan, the one who had gone to call Amber, switched hoodies with another guy. He also had one of the men, Tyreek, ride with the girls to ensure they didn't try to back out. As Amber was about to drive off, Laquan was seen angrily pointing at her, likely threatening her to do as she was told. Amber responded by reversing her car and lightly bumping into Laquan, not once, but twice. After more shouting, Amber gave in. The men entered the red SUV, and both cars left, with Amber's car leading the way. Even though the situation was tense, Aralia and Destiny hoped things would be okay, but their hope didn't last long.
And he made us go to the Travel Lodge. He was acting like everything was fine. I mean, they were getting along at first. And then as soon as we got in the hotel room, he told us to sit down, so we did. And then he pulled out a book bag. The book bag had bullets, guns. He had duct tape, he had a mallet. And he made us go sit in the room all together. Everybody was in one room where the beds was. Well, they were all joking and around fine, and then I heard him and Amber arguing in the bathroom. He broke the little light on the side. He broke that where the lampshade is. He broke the doorknobs off the door. He made her sleep in the bathtub. And all of a sudden, like, I had to use the bathroom, so they made us go into the other room.
The girls explained that once they were in the motel room, Laquan's behavior changed drastically. He became aggressive, ordering one of the men to guard the door and ensure no one left. His violent demeanor made it clear that he was willing to kill Amber, and possibly them too if he didn't get what he wanted. Meanwhile, back at the crime scene, as the police were taking statements from the girls, detectives found a Walmart receipt for ammunition purchased the day before. This receipt would later play a key role in helping the detectives piece the case together.
He made us go in the other room, and I went to use the bathroom. All you could hear is them, like, it got real quiet for a second. And then all of a you heard the gunshot.
When you heard the gunshot, it was just Amber and Laquan in the bathroom. When you heard the gunshot.
Well, she was laying in front of the mirrors. So
Okay.
they must have came out the bathroom.
But back in that area, it was just those two back there when you heard the gunshot.
I heard a gunshot. So I was hurrying up putting my pants back on. He was trying to open the bathroom door. He was like, she shot herself. I knew she did. She wouldn't have done that. She was so scared that she was going to die that night. And then after that, he started getting all this stuff. And everybody, all the guys were gone. They left him. And he walked around the door when we did. He just went straight, got in the car, and went straight over across the street to call 911. Destiny tried to tell the woman at the hotel desk to call 911, and she wasn't comprehending. And then after that, we just waited for y'all to walk back over.
Although detectives reviewed footage of the suspects interacting with Amber at the Little General gas station, the footage was too blurry for a clear identification. It only gave them a general idea of what the suspects looked like and helped verify the timeline of the